Hi friends, how are you doing today? I love this video because it's going to be short, sweet, to the point, right? So we have a formula that we're going to become very used to, and that formula is y equals mx plus b. That formula is something that people remember for years and years and years. Y equals mx plus b kind of just gets stuck in our mind, and we always hear that. However, we need to know the name of that formula. That formula is called slope-intercept form. And this is on your formula chart. If you look at your formula chart, it has slope-intercept form, and it gives you y equals mx plus b. So you always have that reference with you. But in this short and sweet video, we're just going to talk about what slope-intercept form is and how do you know what slope is when you're just given an equation. So let's break down this word real quick. Slope-intercept form. I know that this form or this formula is going to have a slope, and we know that slope is represented by the letter m. We've been talking about slope for so long now. So slope is represented by m. And we're also going to have an intercept. So this formula has two parts. It has a slope and an intercept. More specifically, we're going to say that it has a y-intercept. And that will make a little bit more sense to you as we keep going with key features and we're keep looking at different types of graphs. But a intercept is a y-intercept. So two parts. We're really focusing on the slope part of this. So if you look at this formula, we can see where those two parts are. An x and a y are normal. We get those from our graph and from our tables. The m and the b are the special parts, so that m right here, m is our slope. Remember we said the different things that represent slope, m was one of them. So m represents slope. What do you think the b represents? The y-intercept or the intercept, right? We're not really talking about that yet. We will get super in depth about that in a little bit. But for right now, we're looking at this m part and we're knowing that m is slope. So this video is as easy as this. If I give you an equation, let me give you a pretty blue equation here. If I gave you the equation y equals 2/3 x plus 4. If I just gave that and I said, tell me what the slope is, could you tell me that? It's not a trick question, guys. Could you look at this and tell me where the slope is? Look at this formula, y equals mx plus b. This formula looks just like y equals mx plus b, but now we have those numbers substituted in for m and substituted for b, right? This would be the y equals mx plus b. So what is my slope here? My slope is 2/3. My slope of this question, my answer would be 2/3. That's my answer. That's it. Right? That's why I like this video, short and to the point. Yes, there's a couple more things we're going to talk about, right? It's not always that easy. So let's look at a couple more. I'm going to give you one that says y equals -5 x plus 2. Looks pretty similar, right? Y equals mx plus b. I still see that formula, so I'm going to write it right below it. Y equals mx plus b. This is in the spot of the m. So I know here that my slope is -5. Again, no trick to that, right? It doesn't have to be a fraction, but we know that if it's not a fraction, guys, if it's not a fraction, remember, I can always put it over 1 and turn it into a fraction, so I know that I rise 5 and run 1, right? You can always add that fraction. I like slope as fractions just so I know rise over run. Okay, couple more examples here. Let's go ahead and do a nice, pretty pink one, right? Pretty and pink. Y equals 2 plus 1/3 x. Ooh, this one looks a little jumbled up, almost like it was put into the blender and stuff is mixed up now, right? I still see the y equals, but here's the tricky part. This is not the m. This number is all by itself. It's a constant off to the side. This is actually the b. This is the b. plus this that is attached to the x, right? It's multiplying to the x right in front of the x. That is the m and the x. So here, my slope is actually 1/3. It went to tricky there, right? It was all jumbled up. My m is 1/3. It's usually that number that's attached right there to the x. My slope there is 1/3. So that was a special one to note, right? Just a little mixed up. Same thing though, same formula. I got two more to show you. They don't get much harder, just a little bit more special cases, just like that one. So another special case is, what if you get one that looks like this? I'm gonna write it right over here in purple. Y equals 1/2x. Well, that one looks like something got chopped off the end of it, right? It looks too short. It doesn't look like y equals mx plus b. It looks like only y equals mx. There's no b. The b got chopped off the end. Well, guess what? If there's not a b there, what do you think the b is? It's not a 1. The b is 0. It's not anything. The b is 0, so they just don't even put it, guys. If it's 0, they don't even add it to the end, right? If it's just 0, they say, we're just going to erase it. We're not even going to put it. We're just going to leave it as that, mx, right? We get the point. So this is, don't know why it changed colors on me, sorry. This is the m, so my m in this purple one, and blue I guess, is 1/2. My slope in that equation is 1/2. Now I got one more, almost like a little trick to see if we can get it. I'm gonna do it in nice and pretty orange. My last one is, what if you get a formula that looks like y equals 3? What does that look like? It kind of looks like it was jumbled up in the blender and something was cut off of it, right? It's too short to be y equals mx plus b. This one is just y equals b. There's no mx attached to anything, right? Just like this one up here, the m is attached to the x. Over here, the m was attached to the x. There's no x here. So just like we said the b out here would be plus 0, there's no slope here. So what do you think we would call it? Remember those two special cases that we talked about? Those two special cases. This one, because the slope out here is like saying there's nothing out there, right? Plus 0. We said if there's a 0, they really don't even put it. This is a 0 slope. There is no slope in this equation to be found, so all you have to tell me is you can either write the number 0 or you can say that there is 0 slope. Remember, that's those lines that have 0 steepness, that line that looks straight across like this, horizontal. There was no slope in that equation, so you say it is 0 slope. Okay, so make sure you know y equals mx plus b. We're going to be using that formula a whole lot. It is something that you will always remember till the end of time. Make sure you know how to recognize the slope in that formula. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to move on to a couple more formulas. This one's the easiest though, so make sure you got this one down before moving on to the next one.